Have you ever stopped to think about what keeps our planet moving every single day? Right now, as you're watching this video, the Earth is spinning incredibly fast beneath your feet. At the equator, our planet rotates at nearly 1,670 kilometers per hour. That sounds unbelievably fast, doesn't it? Yet we don't feel a thing. There are no powerful winds pushing us backward. We don't lose our balance. We don't even notice the motion. That's because everything around us, the oceans, the atmosphere, the buildings, the animals, and even our own bodies, are all moving together at exactly the same speed. But now, imagine something impossible. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, opening your window, and discovering that the Earth has suddenly stopped spinning. No warning, no countdown, just one instant where our planet completely freezes. It may sound like something from a science fiction movie, but what would actually happen? Would we simply stand still? Would gravity disappear? Or would the world become a place no human could survive? The answer is far more terrifying than most people imagine. Even if the ground suddenly stopped moving, everything on the surface would continue traveling at incredible speed. Cars, trees, buildings, oceans, and even people would still be moving at more than 1,000 kilometers per hour because of inertia, one of the most powerful laws of physics. The ground would stop, but almost everything else would keep going. In just a few seconds, the peaceful world we know today would turn into complete chaos. Massive winds would roar across the planet faster than the strongest hurricanes ever recorded. Giant waves would begin crossing the oceans. Cities would face unimaginable destruction. But this is only the beginning. The longer the Earth remains still, the stranger and more dangerous our world becomes. So let's travel through this incredible scientific thought experiment together, and discover exactly what would happen second by second. The very first second after the Earth stops spinning would be unlike anything humanity has ever experienced. The ground beneath your feet would suddenly stop moving, but your body wouldn't. Because of inertia, you would continue moving forward at incredible speed. Unless you were securely protected, you could be thrown violently across the landscape. Cars would lose control instantly. Airplanes would struggle to stay stable. Trains would leave their tracks. Every loose object would become a dangerous projectile. But the land isn't the only thing affected. The atmosphere would keep moving at its original speed, creating unimaginable winds that race around the planet. These winds could reach well over 1,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the most powerful hurricanes ever recorded. Buildings would collapse. Trees would be ripped from the ground. Dust, rocks, and debris would fill the sky, turning daylight into darkness. Along coastlines, an even bigger disaster would begin. The oceans would continue moving because water doesn't instantly stop. Billions of tons of seawater would rush across the continents, creating gigantic mega tsunamis unlike anything in history. Entire cities near the coast would disappear beneath enormous walls of water. Ships would be thrown far inland, and islands could vanish beneath the waves. Fires would break out everywhere as power lines snap, gas pipelines rupture, and buildings collide with incredible force. Communication systems would fail within minutes. Roads would become impassable. Airports would shut down. Emergency services would be overwhelmed almost instantly. And while all of this is happening on the surface, the Earth itself would begin changing in ways that most people never imagined. The disasters we've seen so far are only the beginning. The longer our planet remains still, the more extreme the consequences become. What happens next could change the Earth forever. As the hours pass, life on Earth becomes almost impossible. But the destruction isn't over yet. One of the biggest changes is something we rarely think about: day and night. Right now, Earth's rotation gives every part of the planet sunlight and darkness every 24 hours. If the Earth stopped spinning completely, that cycle would disappear. One side of the planet would face the sun almost all the time. Temperatures there would continue rising day after day. Rivers would dry up. Lakes would disappear. Forests would catch fire under the relentless heat. Crops would fail, leaving millions without food. Many animals would be unable to adapt, and entire ecosystems could collapse. Meanwhile, the opposite side of the Earth would experience the exact opposite fate. Without sunlight, temperatures would keep dropping lower and lower. Snow would cover cities. Oceans near the poles would expand with thick layers of ice. Entire regions would freeze into a permanent winter, where survival becomes nearly impossible. Between these two extreme worlds, there might be a narrow zone, where temperatures are still suitable for life. Scientists believe that if humans had any chance of surviving, it would most likely be in this thin region, between endless daylight and endless darkness. But even there, life would be incredibly difficult. Farming would become a massive challenge. Fresh water would become one of the most valuable resources on Earth. Electricity, communication, transportation, and global trade would collapse. Every community would be forced to rely on whatever resources remain nearby. Humanity would have to adapt faster than ever before. Yet even after all these disasters, one final question remains. Could humans actually survive on a planet that no longer spins? Or would this be the end of civilization as we know it? The answer might surprise you. Even after all these catastrophic events, there is one important question left to answer. Could anyone actually survive on a world that has stopped spinning? Surprisingly, the answer is maybe. A small number of people living deep underground or inside specially designed shelters could have a chance. With enough food, clean water, reliable energy, and advanced technology, small communities might continue living for years. Scientists could work together to develop new ways of growing food indoors, recycling water, and protecting people from the extreme temperatures outside. However, life would never be the same again. Traveling across the planet would become almost impossible. Most cities would no longer exist, and many familiar landscapes would be completely transformed. The world we know today would be replaced by a harsh environment, where every single day would be a struggle for survival. Humanity would have to rebuild from almost nothing, adapting to conditions unlike anything our ancestors have ever faced. Fortunately, this terrifying scenario is only a scientific thought experiment. The Earth has been spinning for billions of years, and scientists do not expect our planet to suddenly stop rotating. The powerful forces that keep the Earth moving are incredibly stable, making such an event extremely unlikely. But imagining impossible situations like this helps scientists understand how our planet works and reminds us just how perfectly balanced our world really is. Every sunrise, every sunset, every season, and every day we experience depends on the Earth's constant rotation. It's something we rarely notice, yet it makes life on our planet possible. Sometimes, the most ordinary things are actually the most extraordinary. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more amazing scientific journeys. And in our next episode, we'll explore another unbelievable question. What if gravity suddenly disappeared? It may sound impossible, but the answer is even more shocking than you think. Stay curious, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next adventure.